Hello and welcome to the Yarn and Time podcast. My name is Amber. I am at Yarn and Time on all places on the internet. I hope y'all don't mind the interruptions, the chickens, the birds singing, the dogs playing, the sun being annoying. But it was a beautiful day. I didn't want to sit in the house where there's not that great of lighting and you can't look at pretty flowers behind me. So hopefully y'all don't mind the interruptions, because I don't, but y'all might. Oh well. I'm probably going to record most of my podcasts outside, because I love being outside. Oh. So, today, I figured I would start off by talking about whips. I don't have many to show you, but I have 3 knitting projects and 1 crochet project, which is going pretty well right now. 2 of them are for the Natural Dye Cow, which is being hosted by a wooden nest. I'm really happy to see a natural dye knit along, so it's really exciting. So anyway, let's talk about whips. The first whip I want to show you is living in this patchwork project bag with a teapot brooch. I bought it at a thrift store. And this bag was gifted to me, so I don't think they sell them, but it's very beautiful and I love this bag very much. And this is my naturally dyed yarn. I call this colorway Lichen. I dyed it with purple cabbage and turmeric, and I'm knitting a pair of socks with it. It has speckles all over it, and this DPN case is from Woodsy and Wild. I bought this like a year or so ago, so I love this fabric. The beetles, the moths, ferns, and I have a project bag that matches it too. I just felt like putting it in this bag. And that's what it looks like, all wound up. Really love this colorway, and I definitely love these cables. I've never knit cabled socks before, so I'm hoping this goes well. Just a standard, I think I did 64 or 62 stitch cast on, 1x1 rib for 20 rows. And then I'm just doing a random cable pattern that I am making up as I go along. I might write it up as a pattern. I might not. It just depends on how I like it after I finish it. I might really like it. I might really hate it. I don't know. There's no telling. So, I'm getting close to putting a heel in. I think I'm going to do just a standard heel flap and gusset. That's kind of my favorite thing to do. It's just a heel flap and gusset. Though, afterthought heels are really fun too. So that is one of the projects that I'm knitting for the Natural Dye Cow. The second thing I'm knitting for the Natural Dye Cow is living in this faux fringe bag that I won last January in a knit along, and I don't think the person who made them sells this bag. I'm really sad about it because these are really great bags, but I just embroidered some flowers and then I put a pin on there from Shiny Apple Studio, and I'm probably going to embroider more flowers on it later. Just haven't gotten to it yet. But I am knitting the Find Your Fade shawl, which I'm sure everyone has seen and about everyone has knit except for me. And I'm starting out with this pokeberry dyed yarn that I dyed last summer, and it's really beautiful bright magenta color. Really washes me out, but I love it. And I'm only using like 4 or 5 colors, so I'm probably going to do one more section in this pokeberry color, and then I'm going to move on to this, which is also pokeberry dyed, but it is black bean and pokeberry dyed, and it just has some blue lavender and purple variegation in it. I think it'll transition nicely. And then after that I will be going into more black bean dyed yarns, so it'll be a purple and blue fade for the most part. I am playing around with the idea of taking a skein of lichen and fading it in there somewhere, but I haven't decided yet. I have 2 more skeins picked out and that's it, so I'm figuring out as I knit it, but that's my fade so far. Not much of a fade right now, but it's getting there. The second thing is a crochet project. This is just a bag by That Crafty Little Fox. Yeah, That Crafty Little Fox. I love this bag so much. I take this thing everywhere with me pretty much. It's my go-to bag for everything. It's just so huge. This crochet project is 2 cakes of Lion Brand mandala, I think that's how you say it. I've decided to not buy any more acrylic yarns, and so I'm just working through my stash. And when I was going through this, I put these 2 together and it's like, these colors complement each other deep down. I don't know, they have very similar tones, and the ones that don't have similar tones, they work. They just really work together. So I've taken these 2 cakes and I've wound off the individual colors into balls, like I just showed you, and I'm crocheting a bunch of granny squares. So I haven't gotten a ton done. I have about a dozen right now. I have no idea what they're going to be. I'm just going to make all the granny squares I can in the same size, and then I'm going to see what I can make with it. It might be a blanket, it might be a shawl, it might be pillowcases. I have no idea. But that's, so far, just a small handful of granny squares. Very small DK weight granny squares. And I love it. Also, I love drawstring bags for that reason. Just, yeah. I think that's a common thing knitters love, is just, it's fun. I don't know why it's fun, but it's fun. So that's my crochet project. And the last project, knitting project at least, I have to show you, isn't technically casted on. This is a bag by The Scrappy Thread, another one of my favorite bags. It's got a drawstring. Who doesn't love drawstring bags? That's what I want to know. If you don't like drawstring bags, tell me why. I want to know why. I genuinely want to know why. So I am knitting a Tegna by Boylan Knitworks, the cropped shirt sweater. I absolutely adore the pattern. I bought Knit Picks Gloss Fingering, which is 70% merino and 30% silk in the dough colorway. I bought like 7 of these on their Cyber Monday sale last year with this pattern in mind. And I just have not. I had to go find her. I thought she was barking on the other side of the ridge, but she wasn't. So for y'all who wanted to see my dog, this is Moxie. She's gone now. She hardly ever sits still. She's still very much so a puppy. I think she's about 7 months old now. She's just a total sweetheart and super hyper. Now I'll take off the hat, and so I don't look so silly. So I love that hat, so I don't care if I look silly. But anyway, I bought this yarn for this sweater back in like November, I think. I have 2 skeins caked up, and I've casted this on once already, but I keep either twisting the cast on, or it seems like it's gonna be way too big. So maybe it's not gonna be way too big. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I've never knit a sweater. I've always started and then put it in a bag and forgot about it. Hi, Moxie. So this is going to be a Tegna, and I'm hoping by showing y'all this, it will motivate me to get it done so I can show some progress on the next podcast. So, but I really love this color. It's a very beautiful brown, like a straw brown, and I think it'll go with everything. So I'm really excited about that. Maybe next time I'll have something on my Tegna done. Who knows? Probably not. I'm very good at procrastinating and putting things in bags and then forgetting about them. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else just put projects in bags, put the needles in there, put the notions in there, put the yarn, and then set it on a shelf and forget about it? Because I do that a lot. It's really bad. I need to start going through my projects more, but oh well. I also wanted to talk to y'all about spinning. I am a pretty new spinner still, but I really love spindles. I really love support spindles specifically. So I wanted to show y'all all the projects that I currently have on my spindles, which I only have 4 spindles right now. There's probably going to be more later because spindles are beautiful and they're addictive. It's like yarn. You can never have too many spindles. Probably like fiber too, but I haven't gotten that far in the spinning. So the first project I want to show you is on my goddess Shield Maiden. It is from fiber from Lost Gnome Fiber Arts, I believe. They will be linked in the description, or they're on Etsy. This was like flax, Cordale, I think there was BFL, there's a bunch of things in there. It's a really nice, beautiful blend. This was the North Sea blend, I remember. I thought the North Sea blend was perfect for my goddess Shield Maiden. I'm a dork that totally coordinates fiber to spindles. And also, this is a vintage knitting tin that they live in. There's some fiber. I bought this at a thrift store for like 10 bucks, and the top of it has a hole for guiding yarn through. I stuck some washi tape on the back so my spindles don't poke through and break the tip off, because I'm nervous about that. But the tin keeps them pretty safe. This is another goddess spindle. This is the Cherry Blossoms, and it just has some little spat sample. Let's see if I can focus. It just has a little sample bat that she came in on it. So, just green. I don't even know what kind of fiber it is, but it's very, very lovely. And then this is my Markwood Fiber Arts. This is the Arkenstone spindle, and it has a crystal tip. I really love how pretty it is, but I prefer pointed tips, I figured out. I'm spinning some plain gray merino on this one. Really love this spindle a lot. This is my first support spindle I bought, and it's what started the obsession, definitely started the obsession. And this is Maine Fiber Arts Acorn Russian spindle, and this is my Breed Study White Gotland top. I got this from Etsy, the spindle and the fiber. And the fiber, I really like fiber that I have to pick stuff out of. I'm weird. Like if it has hay in it, I feel like I'm actually spinning real wool. So I'm really happy with this. And I figured out I really like Gotland. I really like Gotland and Cordale. That's just a nice rustic soft blend that I love. So that's all my spinning projects living in my spinning tin. That's really blowing me out. The sun is setting behind me, so it's, you know, brightening up back there behind me. I probably should have went over there, but then I would have been in full sun and I definitely would have been blown out. I'll get a hang of this. I'll get a hold of it. I'll figure it out. It's just gonna take a few times of me recording, probably, for me not to seem like a total dork. That was one of my chickens. The other thing I wanted to talk to y'all about was yarn acquisitions. I haven't had a lot of yarn shopping online recently, but I have some new things that I really love that I wanted to share with y'all. The first thing is 2 skeins I bought last month at the Foxfire Heritage Center in Mountain City, Georgia, which, by the way, I live in Georgia in the Appalachian foothills, so that's not too far away from me. And there is a woman there who spins yarn and dyes it naturally, and of course I had to buy some of her yarn. I bought 2 skeins of her undyed yarn. They're 2 different weights, but they're beautiful. This one is Romney, 4 ounces to 90 yards. I think I'm going to knit a cowl out of this and then eco print it this summer. Here comes Moxie. Girl, what are you doing? Life with a puppy. So I think I'm going to eco print this as a cowl. I think it'll be really nice in the winter because it's soft, but it still feels like wool, which I love. So it's really lovely. And then I bought another skein from her that is Shetland, and it's 146 yards, and it's just really, really lovely. She picks out the fleeces at farms in North Carolina, I believe she said. So she has like the names of the sheep, like the Shetland is Solitaire. How cute is that? Absolutely love that so much. So these are very, very special skeins, which will be very, very special projects. The other 2 things I wanted to show you is some more local wool. There is a town near me called Lula, Georgia, and there is a little antique shop in a gas station parking lot, and I went in there just looking at antiques like I like to do, and I found local wool, which I was ecstatic about. This is from Fox Run Farms. I've looked online and they don't sell it online, but they're very beautiful rustic yarns, and I think it's about a worsted weight. I don't know what these are going to be, but I loved the colors and I loved how local they were, and I was very, very excited to have them. They're very, very structured, very rustic, stiff wool, which I love. It doesn't say what kind of wool they are, but they're not blended with anything. They're just anything other than wool that I know of. So they didn't even have any tags, but I can't wait to see what I figure out what they want to be. I just know they want to be something together. So the last acquisition I have to show is my own hand-dyed yarn that I dyed with onion skins and iron. I dyed these 2 skeins. These are on my BFL Hearth base, which is a 4-ply sock. I saw these after they finished drying and I was like, they have to be a shawl together. I think they're going to be the falling leaves shawl, but I'm not sure. I named the colorway Dahlonega, which is a town in North Georgia, which is the gold rush of the Appalachians. The name Dahlonega is Cherokee for gold, and they're still gold, basically. in all the rivers in North Georgia, and especially near Dahlonega. I don't know how many times growing up we took field trips to places in Dahlonega and panned for gold, and it was awesome. So this is Dahlonega, which is iron and onion skins, my BFL hearth base. Very excited for these. They're going to be a lovely shawl. So that's all of my acquisitions the past couple months. So that's all I have to show you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to make more of these. Maybe the next one won't be so awkward or stiff failing. And maybe I will have something done on my Tegna next time, hopefully. Don't get your hopes up. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.